day, kids! It's Teacher Queenie Cantor and welcome to our first video lore discussion in Science 4. So our lesson for today is all about describing the properties of matter. Without further ado, let's go to the video. Hi kids, I'm here. Now let's proceed with our lesson. So let us look at these pictures. So you have there a pencil, a paper, a bag, a rock, juices, an ice cream, our favorite, and a fried chicken. So all of these children are different properties of matter. Now look at the things around you. The chair, the table, everything else that you can find all around you is what we call matter, okay? Now we have here the different materials and their properties. For example, the wood, plastic, metal, paper, the brick, the stone, ice, wool, fabric, glass, water, leaves, metal, leather, cloth, and glass. All of these children are matter, but they have their own properties of matter. Here we have matter. So how to spell the word matter?
Can you spell the word matter? Spell it! M-A-T-T-E-R. Matter.
M-A-T-T-E-R. Okay, so that is how we spell the word matter. Now let us define what is matter. So matter is anything that occupies space and has mass and weight. Again, matter is anything that occupies space and has mass and weight. Everything you see around you is what we call matter. The stone, the chair, the table, the cabinet, the TV, the spoon, the food that we eat is also matter. Here next, we have atom. All matter is made up of many particles called atom. Again, what do you call those tiny particles that made up matter? It is called atom. How to spell the word atom?
Can you spell the word atom? Spell it! A-T-O-M. Atom.
A-T-O-M. So that is atom. Again, atom is those particles that made up matter. Without atom, there will be no matter. Therefore, atom is very important. Okay? So let's proceed to the next slide. So next to atom is we have molecule. Now, how to spell the word molecule?
Can you spell the word molecule? Spell it! M-O-L-E-C-U-L-E. Molecule.
M-O-L-E-C-U-L-E. So that is molecule. Now let us define what is all about molecule. When two or more atoms are combined, another particle is formed, and it is what we call molecule. Remember, without atom, there will be no matter. Now here we have the combination of two or more atoms are what we call molecule. So this particle is formed and it is called molecule. So without molecule, there will be no atom. Without atom, there will be no matter. So which is all about describing properties of matter. So again, we have molecule, and molecule is defined as the smallest particle of a substance. So molecule is those tiny particles that made up atom. Without molecules, there will be no atom. And without those atoms, there will be no matter. So always remember those three terms, the matter, atom, and molecule. Now let's proceed to our next topic. It is all about the states of matter. Can you still remember those three states of matter that we've discussed during grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3? Can you still remember those 3 states of matter? Now let's proceed to the next slide if you are correct with your answers. So we have the solid, liquid, and gas. Solid, liquid, and gas, children, are what we call the states of matter. Okay, so as you can see in the pictures, those tiny circles that you have seen in solid, liquid, and gas, those are what we call molecules that made up the 3 states of matter. Okay, now let's proceed to the next slide. So let's discuss first what is solid, or what are solids. Solids have definite size, shape, and volume, meaning they have their own size. They have their own shape. Solids have fixed shape because their molecules are tightly linked together and held together. Some solids are hard in their texture. So children, you have everything around that you can hold. No, the box, especially the box, the paper, the pouch, or everything that you can hold by your hand is what we call solids. Okay, so remember, they have their own size. If it is square, circle, triangle, or color, even they have their own color. Okay, so they also have texture. It can be soft, smooth, hard, or rough. So those are the different characteristics of solids. Again, they have their own size, they have their own shape, and even volume. So they have their own shape, meaning they are not flowing just like your water. No, they have their own shape. So those materials are what we call solids. Now, can you give me an example of solids? Now, let's proceed to the next slide to see what are the different examples of solids. So we have there metal, glass, and wood. These materials are what we call solids, just like your metal, glass, wood, and many more, children. As we said earlier, that solid have their own size and shape. Now let's see here. Okay, so we have here, children, a candle and butter. So always remember that a candle and butter melts and turn into liquid. So butter and candle, when exposed to low temperature, when we talk about low temperature, are those cold or cool temperature, they will again become solid. So when heated or when exposed to high temperature, they will become liquid. But when exposed to low temperature or those cold temperature, they will become again solid. So solids have different characteristics. Sometimes when heated, they will become liquid. But there are also materials which are solid that do not melt. Okay, so there are some materials that melts, there are some that they stay at their own shape and size. So this is all about solids. Now, what do you think is the next state of matter? So we have here liquids. How to spell the word liquids?
Now, let's spell the word liquid. L I Q U I D. Liquid.
L-I-Q-U-I-D. Now let's proceed to what is the definition of liquids. So children, liquids have definite volume and they flow. They do not have a definite shape, but they take the shape of their container. So they must be placed in containers so their molecules are held together. So that is all about liquids. So when we talk about they do not have definite shape, you cannot identify that they have their own shape unless they are put inside a container, because they only take the shape of their container. Therefore, they must be placed inside the container so that their molecules are held together. Now, can you name any materials that are liquids? Now, I have here some examples of liquids. So they are the milk, oil, alcohol, vinegar, and juices. So these are the examples of liquids. And always remember, children, that liquids are also called fluids. So these are the different examples of liquids, and there are many more examples of liquid that you can name as long as they do not have their own shape and size. And next to solid, liquid is... Now let's talk about what is gas, or what is all about gases. Children, gases have no definite shape and volume. They do not have their own shape and volume. You cannot see them, but you can feel them. The molecules of gases moves freely and fast. They can be squeezed and spread out to fill the spaces. Now when we talk about you cannot see but you can feel them, we're talking about the air around us. You cannot see the air. You cannot identify that this area has an air and this one or this area has no air. You cannot identify those areas which has specifically have air, but you can feel them. So just like using the electric fan, I'm using an electric fan. As you can see, now I cannot say that the air from the electric fan is going out, but I can feel the cool air coming out from the electric fan. That is all about gas. But they can also be squeezed, just like your balloon, you can squeeze them, and that they fill out the spaces inside the container. For example, I have here an empty box. So this empty box, of course, there's nothing inside. But the air inside the box is filling out the space. Now let's proceed to the next slide to know more about gases. Now we have here different examples of gases. Again, always remember, children, that the air is made up of gases. So these are the three different examples of gases: the oxygen, carbon dioxide, and helium. Oxygen is the air you breathe in or you inhale. When you inhale, when you breathe in, that is the oxygen. So that gas is what we call oxygen. But when you breathe out and when you exhale, inhale, this one is inhale, exhale, breathing out the air. Okay, so that is a different kind of gas, and that is what we call carbon dioxide. So oxygen and carbon dioxide. And the next one is helium. So the helium gas is found inside the balloon. So when you can see an inflated balloon, so inside of it is a helium gas. Not oxygen, not carbon dioxide, but the air inside the balloon is what we call helium. Especially if the balloon, you can see a balloon flying. Now what's inside that balloon is a helium gas that made it fly. Now we are done with the three different states of matter. Again, we have solid, liquid, and gas. Solid, you can see them, you can feel them, and you can touch them or hold them by your hand. The liquid, they fill in the space of your container, and you have your gases. You cannot see them, but you can just feel them. Now let's proceed to our next topic, which is all about the arrangements of molecules in solids, liquids, and gas. Now let us see what are the different arrangements of the tiny particles which we call molecules inside the solid, liquid, and gas. So let's have first the solid molecules. Okay, so as you can see, the solid molecules are compact and compressed so that they can move very slowly. So the molecules stick together since their attraction is very strong. Therefore, we can hold everything which is matter in our hands because their molecules are tightly held together, they are compacted, and they are compressed. So that is the molecules of solid. Now the next molecule that we're going to talk about is the molecules of course, liquid. The molecules of liquid, as you can see in our presentation, these are held more loosely so they can move freely. So liquid, okay, so they flow and can be poured into other container. Therefore, as you can see earlier, the solids are more compacted and the liquid are more loosely so that they can move freely. They can be poured to other container and they take or fill in the shape of the container. They take the shape of the container which they are at. So next to liquid also we have gas or gases. So as you can see, children, the gas molecules are very far from one another, that they pull the attraction which is very fast and spread out. So this is why they do not have definite size, shape, and form, because their molecules are far from each other. If they are compact, they will have their own size and shape. If they are slightly loose, therefore they are liquids. But when they are spread out, the molecules are very spread out, it talks about the gas. So that is why they do not have their definite shape and form. So those three molecules are also a part of solid, liquid, and gas, which are the states of matter. So that ends our lesson today, children. Thank you for listening. God bless and keep safe, everyone. You can watch this video again and again so that you will better understand our lessons, okay? And after you watch this video, you will have your 5 items quiz in Edmodo. So go directly to your Edmodo application and click your class in Science 4. You will find the folder of quiz and click the quiz icon or button or option, and that take 1 to 5 or 5 items quiz. Okay, so after you submit your quiz, I will tell you how much is your score, and I will also start recording your scores. Again, thank you so much for watching our video lore discussion. See you again on our next lesson. Goodbye!